Big exclusive news scoop from the CBC today. Let me read you their screaming headline. Ottawa considering hate charges against those who boycott Israel. The story is written by Neil MacDonald, who's a very interesting character. On the one hand, unlike almost everybody at the CBC, he loves free speech. He's a free speech absolutist like me. But like almost everybody at the CBC, he doesn't much care for Israel, and he lets it show. In this story, his two passions have come together, and he truly believes, so he says, that Canada is about to start prosecuting those who say, "Don't buy from Jews." Now, that whole "don't buy from Jews" thing was a Nazi invention. You may know that in the 1930s, Nazis would literally stand out front of Jewish-owned shops with signs saying, "This store is owned by Jews, don't buy from Jews, Jews are dirty rats," etc. That was discredited for a while after the Holocaust, but it's back in a big way. Even in Canada, in universities and churches, they have a new "Don't Buy From Jews" campaign. They call it boycott, divestment, and sanctions. It's just as gross and just as anti-Semitic. Well, the federal Conservatives, along with the Liberals and the NDP, have denounced the "Don't Buy From Jews" campaign, and they've said so in various strong words, but it's basically been a moral denunciation, a political denunciation. There has never been a prosecution of the "Don't Buy From Jews" campaign because it's not actually against the law to be hateful. Well, actually, it is. According to our criminal code, there are hate speech provisions, and that's what Neil MacDonald is worried will be used here, that these hateful anti-Semites will be given a taste of the medicine of the criminal code, and a throwaway line from the Minister of Public Safety saying that they will use every tool in their toolbox, including hate speech laws, has given him a germ of an idea for a story. Well, a lot of anti-Stephen Harper critics pound, saying, it's proof that Harper wants to silence his opponents, including, for example, Michael Vaughn of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, who said that this is, quote, a tool to go after critics of Israel. Now, let me say, I am always glad when people ring the alarm for free speech, even if it's at the first whiff of smoke and not the sight of fire. I think it's good to be on guard like that. I guess I just wish we would have people worried about free speech when there's a real and pressing threat, not just one in the imagination of my friend Neil. You see, short weeks ago, Irwin Cotler, the former Liberal Justice Minister, currently a Liberal MP from Montreal, actually did introduce a new hate speech bill into Parliament. It's not a rumor, it's not a myth, it's not a theory. He did it. It's a law that would criminalize, or not criminalize, it would make illegal bad feelings, hateful emotions, and it would actually conduct trials in secret. And by that I mean, you wouldn't be able to know the identity of the person accusing you of your thought crime. They would keep the identity of your accuser secret. There is an actual bill in Parliament now being introduced by the former Liberal Justice Minister that will surely be a template for future Liberal laws. No comment on that from Neil MacDonald, no comment from the CBC, no comment from the Civil Liberties Association. Why? Because the CBC and the Civil Liberties Association are rather one-sided in their use for free speech. They don't actually believe in free speech for people they disagree with, or if they do, they're quite grudging about it. They would rather use the thought of Harper being censored to bash him as just another tool of Israel than to actually stand up for free speech when it's in jeopardy. Free speech is in jeopardy in Canada every day, not just from our courts and our kangaroo courts like the Human Rights Commissions, but actually from violent censors, those who have intimidated most media in this country, including the CBC, out of publishing any cartoons of the Muslim prophet Muhammad. It's a bit rich for the CBC to complain about imaginary could-be, would-be censorship when their own organization censors Neil MacDonald himself from showing any cartoons of Muhammad. Yeah, physician, heal yourself. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.